division going into the season, and that's the AFC South. AJ, there's some teams here. You got Cam Ward with the Titans. You got CJ Stroud winning the division last 2 years, matter of fact, right? You got the Jacksonville Jaguars with Travis Hunter, and you got your boy, Mr. Hot Seat, Shane Steichen, with the Colts. Now, give the people your prediction, seeding from 1 to 4, 4 to 1, however you want to do it. What's your seeding?
So for this division, I'm gonna start 1 to 4. So I got the Texans repeating, bro. I got the Texans repeating as the division winner of the AFC South. I think CJ Stroud. Now, last year I predicted he was gonna have a bit of a sophomore slump. I feel like I was accurate in that. Now, you had some injuries, you had a lot of stuff going on over there that you couldn't foresee. But one thing I noticed about him last year, like after he had that sensational rookie season, he just seemed like he was out a lot. He was in the media a lot. He was doing a lot of talking, not necessarily trash talking, but it seemed like he was, I'm CJ Stroud. I'm feeling myself a bit, in a humble way, but I'm feeling myself. I'm doing all the interviews. I'm showing up at all the events. It seemed like he felt like he arrived. That's what it seemed like from the outside looking in. And so that's why I was like, I expect CJ to take a step back. If you notice this year, though, we ain't heard nothing from CJ Stroud. He ain't been in no interviews. He ain't been dealing with Madden. He ain't been sitting. He been silent. So that's how I know he locked in. So I can see him having a really bounce back season in a division that, we're going to talk about it more in depth, but I'm not confident like that. No other team taking him out, especially if he's looking like rookie CJ Stroud or he takes a step. I like the roster. Obviously, Joe Mixon is out right now. Nick Chubb, questionable right now, but I expect him to be ready for the season. Nico Collins, I expect him to ball out. He dealt with injury last year, but I expect him to be good. Tank Dell, unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be back all year dealing with his knee injury. I'm going to assume that he's not. Hopefully, maybe he come back come playoff time, but probably not. I'd assume he's probably out for the season dealing with the injury, the gruesome injury he had last season. Wishing him well going forward. They got Christian Kirk now. I'm confident in their defense. Head coach DeMeco Ryans always has them, ready on the defensive side of the ball, defensive-minded head coach. So out of all the teams in the division, I'm most confident in them. And I see CJ honestly being the best quarterback in the division and kind of taking it by storm. I got the Jags at number 2. Now, Trevor Lawrence, is he ever going to take a step? I don't know. I truly don't know. He is the definition of mid to me. He's closer to the bottom than he is to the top. I don't know. He has not lived up to the hype that was placed on his name coming into the draft that year. It's just not. So I don't know if he's ever going to take a step, but you got Brian Thomas Jr. right now, right? I'm interested to see how they use Travis Hunter, receiver, corner. We're going to see how they use that. If he's more so used on the offensive side, I think that'll be beneficial for them. So we'll see if they take a step, but even if they don't, I just see them being good enough. Just being good enough. I'm not very confident in their defense. I like their defensive line, but outside of that, I'm not confident in their defense as a whole, which is why I can't put them number 1. I'm not confident enough in Trevor Lawrence, which is why I can't put them number 1. But I think they're good enough at number 2. We just talked about Shane Steichen and the Colts. I got them coming in at 3. Honestly, Joe, I got them coming in at number 3 out of respect for Shane Steichen. That's the only reason why I got them coming in at number 3. And I believe in Cam Ward, but I don't believe in Cam Ward the same way I did Jaden Daniels. I don't believe in him the same way I did Caleb Williams coming into the season. I think he can be decent, but he's one of those type of players for me. He got to show me he can finish higher than 3 for me to give him the nod. So I got Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans.
Okay, so me, number 1, Texans. Now, I'm actually, okay, let me say that. Okay, I got Texas number 1. Same thing like you said. CJ Stroud, last year, you could tell he was smelling roses. Mm-hmm. All right? In the media, with Michael Parsons, hanging out, with Amber Rose, doing his thing.
He was kicking it.
He was chilling. But like you said, I haven't heard a peep of CJ Stroud all season. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Sometimes I'm on TikTok. I haven't seen that one thing of a CJ Stroud. I don't know if you have, but I haven't. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Also, the CJ GJ injury is a killer, I will say. He's out for the year. I think it was an ACL injury, I believe. Right?
No, I think they said I don't know if he's getting further evaluated, but he didn't tear his ACL. I saw that. He didn't
Okay.
actually tear. So I know he's out for some time, but I don't know the actual, timeline for when he was able to come
Okay,
back.
so it's a possibility he can be back.
I think he'll come back at some point, probably late in the season. That's my assumption. I don't know for sure, but I know he didn't tear his ACL.
Okay, I know you mentioned Tank Dell, but they went and got Christian Kirk. So that was a good replacement right there. Christian Kirk is a really good slot corner. He was really good with the what's it, the Jags?
Yeah,
He's really
Jax.
good.
He was
Jags, right?
recently with the Jax. Yep.
So that's that. Now, and also CJ Stroud coming off last season, something to prove. You know, he got a chip on his shoulder. And I felt like in the playoffs, he played much better than he played in the regular season. He ended the season really well. He played really good against the Chargers in that after the first quarter, obviously. And also, so I got Texans at number 1. And they defense. I feel like the Texans can make a run in for the best secondary in the NFL. You know, they have an opportunity to do that. Their defense will be stout. So give me the Texans at number 1. But I'm actually higher on this team than you are.
I think you finna. Go ahead.
The Jags, right?
Okay.
I think the Jags would be a close second.
Okay.
I really like the Liam Cohen move. The former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He did a really good job with Tampa Bay last year. You know, with Tampa Bay, what he did, like Tampa Bay, the previous 2 seasons, they were bottom tier in rushing the football with Brian Leftwich, right? And with the OC before that, the Panthers head coach. He gets there, and they become a top 5 rushing offense. They start to run the ball more. Now, I think we'll see that a lot more with Jacksonville, with Bixby and Travis Etienne. But at the same time, you got Travis Hunter with Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. had a terrific year last year. Brian Thomas, I'm hoping y'all lose games, keep losing, my brother, and come back. Anyways, Brian Thomas Jr. He had a really good year last year. You pair him up with Travis Hunter. They went and got my boy De'Ami Brown. You know, De'Ami Brown had a decent solid year with us. I don't think he would be a huge impact with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he's another shifty, speedy guy they could put in different spots, right? So, because De'Ami Brown, we put him in like a lot of screens and stuff like that. So I think Liam Cohen will do a good job with this offense, but like you said, it's Trevor Lawrence. What are we going to get from Trevor Lawrence? I mean, we saw Trevor Lawrence's rookie year. He looked horrible, but we all knew the environment was horrible. We all knew that. But then the second year, early on in the year, he carried on what he did in the first year, but then he caught fire, kind of like what Jordan Love did in his first year start. He caught fire, got to the playoffs, did his thing, lost to the Chiefs. And then last I couldn't recognize him that. Like last year was terrible. All right. So he's the X factor because they can win this division. I don't think the Texans are runaway winners with this division. You know, I don't think so. I think the Jags have an opportunity. I picked the Jags last year, if you remember, but I'm gonna pick them second this year.
I ain't forget that, Joe. I ain't forget that.
They won 4 games. God, I think they won 4. How many games they won? Hold on, I got it right here. They won.
It was like 4 or 5.
They won 4. They won 4 and 13. God,
yeah, bro. That was rough.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you won. At least you won to pick them though. So all other predictions was right. It's just you was off with the division. That's all it is.
I'm glad we didn't do the pick-ons before the season.
That'd have been rough. That would have been
the Raiders. I'm going to get to that.
That'd have been rough.
But third place, I'm with you. The Indianapolis Colts. I think the Colts will be in third place. Now, I gotta like you said, Shane Steichen. We had this debate last week. You had Shane having a hot seat, which I agree. He has a hot seat, new ownership in there, right? But we have them hot seat 2 different reasons. With the situation he was presented to, right? With Richardson, with Joe Flacco, with Gardner Minshew. The last two years, he 500. Last 2 years with that situation. So believe it or not, Daniel Jones, I'm not high on Daniel Jones, but I think Daniel Jones is no different than what he had before, you know? So, and then Daniel Jones have more of a, don't get mad at me, Jalen Hurts to him because he can run the ball. Because he can run the ball. You know, Joe Flacco and Gardner Minshew, they you know what I mean? They sit in that pocket. When Daniel Jones, he can offer you more than what they can offer. So I think that the Colts are sneaky because the coach of because of Shane. Like I said, like the first year, they almost won the division against the Texans. They were a catch. Dude dropped a wild before down pass. I think it was Downs. Dropped a wild open pass for a first down, right? Not down. I forgot who it was. For a pass. And then last year, they were 2 games out of first place. And they lost both of the games to the Texans by less than by 1 score. So they win both of those games. They win the division. So they were right there to win the division these last 2 years with their quarterback situation. So the Colts are a sleeper. They could easily beat number 2 in this division like they were last year. And they could possibly win the division if the Texans repeat what they had last year. So, but I'm going to put them at number 3. I'm not going to be delusional and say they're going to win.
I'm about to say, ain't too much change from last year, bro. Ain't too much. So
I mean, you never know, man. Like I said, Daniel Jones brings a different dynamic to the offense. You still got Jonathan Taylor. You still got Michael Pittman Jr. You know what I mean? You got Alec Pierce. So you got some offensive weapons. So we'll see what happens. But they number 3 in my book. All right. Okay. And last but not least, the Titans. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cam Ward showed me something when him and Calvin Ridley in that first preseason game. He was looking for Calvin Ridley. He looked pretty good. They connection was good. If I'm a fantasy user in the same league, I'm a fantasy user, bro. I would look out for Calvin Ridley because I could see Cam Ward feeding him. Calvin Ridley is a terrific route runner. He just has some catching issues at times. You know what I mean? But he's a really good receiver. And he was frustrated with his quarterback last year. Last year, I remember he had a lot of targets early in the game. I forgot what game it was, but he had 0 targets in the second half, and he was complaining about his quarterback play. So with Cam Ward is going to look for Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ward is pretty accurate also. So, but he's a rookie. Their team is not built. They got Tony Paul. They got some guys over there, but their roster just screams for 4th place. That's what it screams. So I'm going with them, 4th place. We had the same thing.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. For some reason, when you got to 2 and you said I'm higher on them than you are, I don't know why I thought you was gonna say I got the Titans at 2. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that was coming. Like maybe he a Cam Ward guy. I have no idea. Maybe he think he gonna be the next JD5. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong though.
He can play.
They are saying he has some traits like JD5, like he's there 5'8". He's the first one in the building, like the leadership stuff, the work ethic. He's first in the building and all that stuff. But JD5 never came out and said we mid. I mean, he said that. Hey. He said we mid. JD5 ain't never say that.
JD gonna be one that's hard to duplicate. I'll give him that. He gonna be. It's gonna be difficult to duplicate that success, man. So I give him that.
It's the growth.
I respect it.
Now it's about to be the.
At first, I wasn't trying to give it to you at first, but
now it's about to be the Gasmo, the Gasol.
What?
Greatest sophomore all time.
Oh my gosh! Man, cut this. Let's move on. Let's move on, man. To the AFC North, man. We got the AFC North.